Hello and welcome to TeachUp, where we show you how to do well on the AP Calculus test and how to be fast. Today we want to find dy dx at point negative 3, 0 if x squared minus 3xy plus 5y cubed is equal to 9. So we have a function that is defined implicitly. So to find dy dx, we will have to use implicit differentiation. So here let's go ahead and take d dx of one side of the equation, which is x squared minus 3xy plus 5y cubed, and we're going to say this is equal to d dx of the other side of the equation. Now, anytime the term, so I'm going to be differentiating term by term, and anytime the term only has an x or a constant, we'll just differentiate it with respect to x just as usual. But anytime there's an y in my term, I got to be a little bit careful. So we're going to do that next, and I'll show you what I mean. So d dx of x squared is just going to be 2x. All right, minus, we're going to need to take d dx of 3xy. So let me just write it as 3xy for the time being, and then I'll come back to it. All right, plus 5. I can pull out that 5. I could have, of course, pulled out that 3 earlier. Since I didn't do it, let me just go back and just say d dx of 5y cubed. Okay, this is going to equal to d dx of a constant, which is just 0, because the derivative of the constant is always going to be 0. So here you're going to get then, okay, 2x minus 3. We pull out that 3. Now we want to take d dx of the product xy, which means we're going to have to use the product rule. So here we take the first function multiplied by the derivative of the second function with respect to x. So that's dy over dx, plus the derivative of the first function with respect to x, that's just 1 times the second function. Okay, plus, oops, my screen is moving a little bit, so plus 5 times the derivative of y cubed with respect to x is going to be 3y squared times dy dx. And this is going to equal to 0, everything. All right, now we just go ahead and we distribute this. So we're going to have 2x minus 3x dy dx minus 3y plus 15y squared dy dx is going to equal to 0. Now, every term that has a dy dx, I'm going to go ahead and collect those terms, put them together. So I'm going to have negative 3x plus 15y squared, and then use the distributive property to multiply everything times dy dx. And all the other terms are just going to be moved on the other side of the equation. So this is going to equal negative 2x plus 3y. All right, now we're going to divide everything by that term there. So you have dy over dx, sorry, by that factor. So this is going to equal to negative 2x plus 3y. We divide that by negative 3x plus 15y squared. At this point, there's no need to try and simplify further. Let's just go ahead and evaluate the derivative at the point we want it. That was negative 3 comma 0. So this is going to be negative 2 times negative 3. Anything that has an x, we're going to substitute negative 3 instead. And anything that has a 0 is just going to become 0. So actually 3y is going to become 0 and 15y squared is going to be 0. So we're just going to have there in the numerator negative 2 times negative 3. In the denominator, negative 3 times negative 3. This simplifies as positive 6 over 9, which is the same thing as 2/3. So we just go back to our options and find that our answer then is C.